Wuthering Waves, I did not know you were like this. Please pick me up, mama. Anyways though, Fate Strange Fake been making a lot of noise, and my gosh, does it deserve the attention, because one, the animation is cool, and two, the storytelling is phenomenal. It is sticking with fate, and I love this entire aspect that this Holy Grail war is fake. Everything is just not what it was supposed to be, and I'm a big fan of it. It's a different spin on kind of like fresh and new how Fate Grand Order was compared to Unlimited Blade Works or Unlimited Zero. So I just really do love the entire twist that it does have for the Fate franchise. Now, I know it's not the Fate franchise. I know it's all made by Type Moon. Type Moon is the one in charge of anything related to Fate or the Nasuverse. So you can look at it that way. The Nasuverse is the big boy that contains everything Fate related, as well as anything that's in the same timeline as Fate. For example, the Garden of Sinners, Witch on a Holy Night, Tsukihime. All of these series are within the Nasuverse. Some of these, if not all of these Fate series, are within that Nasuverse as well. So I just love that entire aspect. But that is one thing that makes everybody confused. Where should I start off with? Which episode should I watch? Is there a specific watch order that I really need to follow? Not necessarily. A lot of these graphs that you see right here are not necessarily things that you have to follow. You just pick out whatever Fate you want. For example, if you want to watch Fate Grand Order, start with Fate Grand Order episode 1 or whatever episode came out first, depending on the date in which it was released. Same thing with Unlimited Blade Works. That one, it does say 0, which kind of indicates that it is a prequel, but ignore that. Literally just watch the first one. Now, all I will say about the Unlimited Blade Works series is don't watch 2006 version. I haven't watched it myself, but most people can agree that this is probably not the best adaptation of what. I don't know. I got to dig into that a little bit more. But honestly, if I were you, and coming from me, I would say that starting off with Fate Strange Fake is not entirely bad either. It is just straight up phenomenal. If you want to get into Fate, I highly recommend watching this one first, because it is just so cool. Now, I do like watching it as like a second, because I do like the different alternate versions of Saber, the Saber class. Lionheart's a cool addition, but it does build up to who Artoria actually is, because Lionheart is not going to amount to the amount of power that Artoria has, that being this Saber right here. It is just so cool, because when you, after watching everything of Fate Strange Fake, and you lead on and watch anything else related to Fate, it's gonna be cool. I just highly recommend starting off with this series alone, because it's a little difficult to follow. Don't get me wrong. Maybe watching some analysis videos on it, you'll probably get the gist of what Fate's really about, especially with the whole Holy Grail war aspect of it. And if even that isn't enough to fully explain to you what it is, just think of it as a Fortnite battle royale match. Last one standing wins. But yeah, man, I am so happy that this series is getting the attention it deserves, despite the weird release order that it had, because if you don't remember, it actually dropped around 2023 with only one episode, that being episode 0, which is kind of like the epilogue or prologue, or kind of just like the synopsis of what the series is going to be about. And it's a 55-minute long episode, and this released again in 2023 with one episode, and I was expecting an episode 1 to come the following week after, but nope, an entire year goes by and nothing until December 31st of 2024, which is the first episode, technically the second, but episode 1 comes out with a whopping 24-minute episode, which is not nearly as enough as the first one. And again, that kind of led me to believe that this is probably going to be the season in which it actually starts. We're going to get another season or another episode starting the next week. Nope. Surprisingly not, we have to wait another freaking year. So yeah, 2 episodes that came out a year apart from each other, and episode 2, which actually officially started the actual season of Fate Strange Fake, continues on 2026. So I'm glad that despite the rough start that it did have, it's smooth sailing from here. Now I could continue on and on talking good about Fate Strange Fake, on how the animation's good, the character designs look phenomenal, the way the story is actually told, especially for Lionheart. I love like the play slash tell aspect of the storytelling, in which it follows around Richard I. It's so freaking cool. And I also like the character chemistry and the goofy moments and the goofy animation scenes that they carry with, still carrying that serious tone afterwards. Nothing feels choppy, it's also fluid. But there's one thing that really does make me a little sad, and I can't help but to think about this when I see the animation studio animating this. A1 Pictures, and we all know what A1 Pictures is responsible for animating as well. 86. My gosh, man. Don't get me wrong, I love this series so much, but 86 deserves another season, and I really wish that maybe after this we get a season 2 of 86. I don't know. That's just me coping. And no, dude, it's actually been so many years since we've gotten a season 2. It breaks my heart. Anyways, though, I really do like this franchise. I love Fates, and I'm starting to get into the Nasuverse. Actually, though, this is a question for y'all. Would y'all like to see me play any of the Nasuverse games? I know they have a lot of visual novels. For example, Tsukihime. I really do like the Mystic Eyes of Death perception, and I know the main character has those eyes. I know that Garden of Sinner, Shikiryogi, has the same exact eyes, and I think hers are a little bit more broken than the one that we have in the main character for Tsukihime, but I still like the storytelling aspect, and I really do want to see Alice in the penguin costume as well. But let me know down in the comments and if you want to see that on my live stream. But I really do want to get deeper into the Nasuverse. Like I've mentioned earlier, there are a crap ton of different powers and races within this verse. For example, the dead apostles being the vampires. I kind of forgot about them, not going to lie, and it was a little bit of a refresher seeing it in Fate Strange Fake, as we are introduced with a dead apostle that has a servant, that being the assassin. But not only that, but the Mystic Eyes, because oh my gosh, man, I don't know what it is, but any eyes that carry some significant power, for example, the 6 eyes from JJK, or in Naruto with the Sharingan and Rinnegan or whatever, all of that is so cool. And I feel like I love it more in the Nasuverse, because there are just so many, literally almost like an unlimited list of them. Some of them aren't even named or have a name. They could just only be described on what they do, because they are held by such higher beings. I can go on about the Mystic Eyes, and I even made videos about them on my other platform where I talked about the Mystic Eyes, from it being either broken to being absolutely overpowered to just some of them being kind of meh. I really do love the Fate franchise, and I'm glad I'm getting deeper into it, and I'm glad that I'm going to get deeper into the Nasuverse, so that way I can stop getting clowned on being called a LARPer. But yeah, that's all I really gotta say. Let me know what y'all guys think about the Fate Strange Fake series or the entirety of the Nasuverse. Anyways, if you like what y'all see, why not drop a like and subscribe, as that does help around my channel a lot. Anyways, appreciate y'all for hanging around, and I'll see y'all next time. Adios, guys.